Hi everyone. I just wanted to share a little bit of information about skill intervention and enrichment with Khan Academy. If you need the link to get to Khan Academy directly, feel free to click this link right here. So some of us are wondering about the benefits of Khan Academy, exactly how we can use it in our classroom, how it's going to help us, how it's going to help our students. And the main benefits that I found were that it's an online platform, also that it's really easy to collect data. So that makes assessing, pre-assessing, post-assessments, that makes it really easy. There's personalized instruction opportunities, which is great for our students. And also it's a short time commitment, which everybody needs. It's great for the students, it's great for us. Also the payoff at the end is huge, so it's time well spent. To go into a little bit of detail about the online platform, there are two different ways that you can go about using this in your classroom. One of the ways is using Khan Academy exclusively. A second way that you can do this is actually how I use it in my classroom, and that is by connecting all assignments to Google Classroom. I've just found that streamlining that a little bit is easier on our students, especially since I use Google Classroom predominantly in my room. So you guys are going to see that there are some hyperlinks here. These two hyperlinks actually connect to screencasts so that I showed you guys step by step exactly how to assign an assignment in Khan Academy directly, and then this is how to connect it to Google Classroom. This is actually the teacher dashboard site, so that's just a hyperlink that'll take you directly into that once you get all signed up with Khan Academy. And here is a video screencast that I made that shows how to link Khan Academy to Google Classroom. Just as a heads up, please put this presentation in presentation mode so that you can view that video. Two ways that students can join. You can either send them an email through Khan and then they just open up their emails and they accept it and they're directly in your classroom, or they can log on in Khan Academy itself. So if you're going to that website, they're also going to give you a code. They just need to use their school email to log in, and then they enter your classroom code and then they're good to go. Two of the topics that I picked in my classroom were SAT and grammar. You guys are going to see that there's a lot of math. There's some science, but I found that grammar and SAT work the best. I am going to be focusing on grammar today. So I also took some screenshots so that in case you don't have time to watch the videos, or if that's not for you, then I wanted you guys to see exactly how this is going to work. So you're going to see in step one, you started that teacher dashboard. Once you're logged into Khan Academy, it's going to take you directly there anyway, and your classes are going to show up. You can just select one class at a time. And then step two, you select a skill that you want the students to focus on, and then you can actually customize the assignment. So you can make it so that the students all get different questions. You can make it so that they get the same questions as each other, depending if you're doing group work or you're doing this independently. You can also change which date it's due, what time it's due, which is similar to Google Classroom. And you can also, I'm going to show you a little bit later how you can individualize that instruction in this customization process. Then, third step, you're going to click the assignment at the top, and then you're just going to click on the assignment title itself. Step four, once you open up the assignment, this is kind of what it's going to look like, and if you want to link it to Google Classroom, then you just kind of click that little Google Classroom button at the top, and then you are going to set up the assignment how you would usually set up an assignment in Google Classroom. You're going to select your class. This is also the point where you can select more than one class if you would like. And then you can customize the assignment. You can say if it's for one class, then you can make it so it's for one student or maybe a certain student group that needs some enrichment, or maybe they need intervention. You can change the date, and then you can either save the draft or you can also just assign it and they'll see it in their stream immediately. I did want you guys to be able to have a little sneak peek for what settings look like, so you can change something. So if you did want to change your courses, then you can feel free to do that. If you want to download the data, then you can do that here, and this is also going to let you know that you are synced with Google Classroom, and you can always update that sync if you get a new student or if you lose some students, then it's going to update as well. Speaking of data collection, I know that we're all doing pre-assessments, we're all doing post-assessments, and this is actually a really easy way to see how students are growing and developing. I also really enjoy the colors because it helps me understand, even just at a glance without even looking at the numbers, where students are falling and how things are working and what skills we need to work on. So I do use this to help me group students together if I'm going to create a group for enrichment or going to create a group for intervention. This data collection definitely helps, and it keeps track of how they're growing throughout the process. For personalized instruction, I think that I've talked about this a little bit throughout the presentation, but it's great because the assignments don't have to be given to every single student. It doesn't have to take up class time. Some of the students enjoy doing the activities on their own, in advisory, at home. The activities don't take a very long time, so that works really well. If you do the diagnostics, then the students are going to know what skills they need to focus on. And I've talked again about diverse grouping strategies, so you can do interventions or reteaching, enrichment, or refreshing skills. And then just to show you guys exactly how this would work, you would select a skill, you create the assignment in Khan or in Google Classroom, and then this is where you can create your diverse groups as well. So the short time commitment, I know a lot of us were a little bit hesitant about this because we weren't sure how much time it was going to take away in our classrooms. I mean, we all have a lot of curriculum to get through. We have a lot of things going on in the class, and we have a lot to plan. We have a lot going on in our lives, and I think I found a way that works really well. One of the things that I do set up drafts of Khan Academy on Google Classroom so that I don't have to spend a lot of time throughout the week figuring out which ones I'm going to have the students work on, figuring out which days we're going to do it. I just set up the draft so that before the class starts or while I'm taking attendance, I just hit assign and it populates right in their stream. The way I use it in my class, I just use 5-minute mini lessons. We go through our Spark Docs, which is what I call do nows or bell work. And then after that, we spend 5 minutes focusing on Khan Academy skills, and then we move on for the day. Then I can analyze the data later, and I can figure out exactly how I'm going to approach Khan Academy lessons in the future. Also, it puts the responsibility on the students to drive their own success. They do feel some ownership. They enjoy seeing how they're improving or skills that they need to work on. For them too, the fact that it's not just sitting down doing test prep over and over and over again. I'm seeing that a lot of my even more anxious students are more relaxed when it comes to working on Khan. They like that it can go at their own pace. If we're ready to move on, they know that they can come into our assignment and go back into Khan a little bit later. One of the things that I've heard from my students that they love is that it tells them right away if they're doing something right or wrong. It tells them right away so that they know, is it correct, is it incorrect, and so that they're not just creating these bad habits and answering something the same way for 50 questions, and then they get to the end, they notice that they got 37 of them wrong. That's not how it works with Khan. It gives them a lot of room to develop and grow, and I really appreciate that in many different ways. Sometimes it gives them hints. Sometimes it lets them watch videos, so that part is great. And this is what I mean by setting up assignments in drafts on Google Classroom. I will release the assignments at my discretion so that if I think that we're going to have time to get through it, then I can just release it. Also planning ahead, I just like to plan them out for the whole week so that they're there. I usually focus on them just on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then this is kind of a screenshot of what the student version looks like. So when they're going through it, you guys are going to notice that there are two different skills here. If they get it correct, they get a cute little confetti party. They get excited. It tells them how they're doing. It also allows them to see how we answered it that way. So if they are just guessing and they're like, oh, I got this right, it'll tell them why it's correct. It'll tell them why it's incorrect. Getting help, that means that they can get hints, they can watch videos, and it's going to make sure that it's prompting them through the entire process so they're not just clicking hint the entire time either. And lastly, I just put together another little screenshot or another screencast for you guys that shows how, as teachers, we can see all of the questions that the students will be given in an assignment, but it's also going to show them, let us see the student version, and we can click through and practice so we can see exactly what the students see. So all in all, Khan Academy, these are just some of the benefits. If you guys find more benefits, I would love to hear all about them. I found this to be very successful. I think I'm going to keep making changes in my class to make sure that that I'm using this tool to my students' benefit as much as I possibly can. Thanks.